Welcome back to Never Model Making, where I'm doing Tamiya's Repsol Honda RC213V 2014, along with the Top Studio Super Detail upset for this particular bike. So here in part 4, what we're going to do is exhausts. So in the kit itself, if you can see that, basically put the two halves together, put the tip on the end as the decal goes around it, I think. Paint it up, stick it on the model. Of course, for the detail upset, there's a lot more to it. Just drop that on the floor. So we have various springs on joints to fit in. And we've got the oxygen sensors that fit on so the rear one, this short exhaust that comes out the back, they're at the back, and on the longer one that comes around from the front, they're low down here as well. Again, lots of springs and things to fit. And we also have, if you can find it, where's he gone? Ah, there it is. We also have little turned metal end to the exhaust. So you get this white balance to behave itself. Nope, that's worse. Go the other way. That's better. To fit to the end of the exhaust, and it has little resin. Not focusing. Wait, not focusing. Bear with. There we go. So this is the resin part. Basically cut it off along here. And there's a bit of PE that goes around for the grilling. They fit together and then they fit on the end of the exhaust. Behave. Move that out of the way, don't need it. Focus on me. There we go. So I've already made up the exhaust. My arrow is that not allowed to focus. That's better. There you go. So I made up the exhaust, filled out any little gaps that there were, and started by fitting two little brackets that have a spring in between on there, and there's a couple more that go at the end. So this is obviously the kit part of the funnel. So what we're doing in a minute too is cutting it off there, and then you drill a hole, and then you fit it in, and you have, it's actually slightly, seems to be slightly shorter than the kit one. Anyway, a bit more detail, so we'll make that up. I'm also doing the rear exhaust as well. And you can see I've already fitted that just to see how easy it is. It is relatively easy, as long as you get the hole in the middle of that. I was slightly off, so I had to do a bit of sorting out, but to say it looks level. So that's what we're going to do. So I'll just pause it there for a sec and sort out what the heck this camera's doing with its focus. And we'll chop some bits and fit some bits and see how we get on. And then we'll obviously paint them up, weather them and stain them and all sorts of things. So lots of bits and pieces to do with the exhaust. So I'll pause it there for a sec and I'll be back. Okay, so what I'm going to do is do a bit of carpentry and saw off this part. Don't know whether it shows up okay, but there's a little ridge here, like a band around that obviously connects the silence part to the rest of the piping. So basically what we do is cut it off just along there. Got a little saw, just a little trimmer on. Just a little fine blade, so we'll saw away. So basically you can slide up into the catches on the edge and then gently hack away. So make sure that you're following the line through. That seems to be starting off in a nice straight line. Still going through okay. Turn around a bit so you don't have any rough edges that you have to clean up too much. Oh, it's gone. There we go, so we can get rid of that. And this is what you're left with. So just that little bit of the edge, the collar, whatever it was, on there. So we just need a little bit of tidying up. So a bit of gentle filing around the edge, just to neaten up. And you can work out what you're dealing with. Okay, and if you make the top of it flat as well. And there's a little dimple in there, it seems to be slightly off centre. So when we screw into it, try not to follow that down too much. Okay. Okay, that seems smooth enough. I suppose we'll find it when we start offering things up. So you have to drill quite a wide hole, but not very deep, for that to fit. So what I used is it's a 1.5 mil drill bit, so that's the second largest one I've got. So what we do is drill a hole. A little bit of a start, and you can work out whether it's in the centre. Okay, that looks like it's the centre. Looks like it's the centre. When we first go. Try and drill in straight as well. And I haven't glued it yet, but that I think the hole needs to be slightly deeper. There's still a little bit of a gap. You can't really tell with it's being white, but you get the impression what it's going to be like. So just make the hole just slightly deeper, and it should fit fine. There you go, that's pretty good. Don't know how to take those off, that's good. What's that? There we go. So what we'll do is just got some rapid CA glue. As if you're sticking metal to things, CA glue is the one to use. So we get so that's no, that's the other one that's open. let's put a blob in the end and push together. Try not to glue yourself to things. Pop things off, come on. Bubbling a bit, so I'll neaten that up. Let's extend this a little bit. Okay. So just to make sure that fits, I'm just going to give it a spray with Zip Kicker. Basically just tries to tear glue instantly. So, wait a sec. That's all I needed. So what we'll do is let's pop that to one side and just let it all dry up. So that is the nice metal silencer on there. So what I'll do is when I come back we'll fit some more of these little brackets for the springs. Like for example, there's one that attaches just on the end of the silencer and runs back, and there's others around, so we'll work out from the pictures what goes where, and I'll try and show you how I did it, but it is fairly fiddly and the handle will probably get in the way, but I'll see what I can do. If not, I'll come back and show you where we're up to. We'll do the same with the other exhaust as well. Get all those springs and things sorted out. I'm just going to put the little brackets on obviously before I paint it, but the springs after we've done all the painting. So, pause it there for a sec and we're back. Okay, so show where we're up to. So I fitted the resin part, basically just cut it off to a length, and fit the photo etch part around it, which is the thinnest photo etch I've seen in a long time, but it's still tricky to actually get it to actually go around, and sort of meets up okay. Not, but there's a grill part that goes on top, which is here. These go on top, so I won't stick those on yet because in here needs to be painted XF1 flat black. So what we'll do, we'll have a look at putting the springs on. So I've attached the loops excuse me, to the where it's easy to work out where they go, so they basically seem to just where things join together on here. So if I can pick it up, I'll show you a spring. This is a little spring. So what I've done is dropped it, there we go. Hopefully these don't ping everywhere. So attach it to get it sort of hang down in the direction you want it, and then work out roughly, like so, roughly how far that is back. I'll put a mark, just little dot, so you know where to put roughly where to put the clip. So we'll put that on in a minute or two. So what I'll do, I'll work around sort of there. So put the the next bracket where that mark is. So we'll work around all the other brackets and get things stuck up, and then we should be ready to move on to see what we can do with the oxygen sensors. Excuse me. So the oxygen sensors for the shorter back one fit onto these two parts. I've cut them off a little bit. They were like sort of probably twice as much. So I've got them back, so we'll work out what size hole to drill, and we'll put one in the middle and make sure they fit okay. So then we're not sort of trying to drill through painted and weathered parts. So as I say, I'll work around working out where the brackets go. So that one's probably roughly the same. Drop there, and there's a bracket on here, so that'll fit somewhere on here by the looks of the model. There's another part as well, like this resin, it's almost like a little fin sticking up. That fits on somewhere around about here, but it fits into a bracket on the back of the bike where the seats go. So I haven't worked out whether I should fit it now or later and see whether it all works out. So anyway, that's to be fitted at some stage. Excuse me, I'm just going to get a drink because I seem to have gone all dry all of a sudden. So I say I'll work around working where the brackets are, I'll get them stuck on, and then we'll move on to the next part. I also need to do this part. So this is what the resin part looks like without the PE around it. Basically, just cuts it off. The little stub it was on. Oh, not little stub. Bit of PCA glue, stick it in the top. So I've got the little band to fit on that. Must have put it away. Anyway, we'll come back when we've got some more brackets, and we'll have a look at the oxygen sensors. Okay, we've moved on quite a bit with the exhaust. So we've primed it up and painted it with titanium silver. And then what I did is on all the joints, especially around this part, put very thin strips of masking tape around. Some of the other joints as well, and then give it a spray with clear blue and clear orange around the ends, just to give it a bit of a weathering. Probably a little bit over the top, but it looks pretty good. There are only small parts of the exhaust you'll see, so it's nice to have the bits you can see will be weathered, and fitted some of the springs on here. Put the other one on, it's only just screwed in, it's not glued or anything, just a little screw here. So there's a few more springs on here. So on the last bit you saw where I was marking out how far down to put the second bracket, so I've glued those on. So what we'll do is get all of it, there we go. So each of the springs got a little loop at the end. So basically what we do is hook so as soon as I start filming something it goes tricky. Okay. So that's hooked on there, so then a bit of a gentle stretch. In fact, it's better if you hold the top part if you can. because they do have a tendency to ping about your bench. There you go. Let's basically just repeat around, so that's the short. So that will go in there like that. And so the other one just simply on the model. So that's what I would say it was clear blue, clear orange, and just giving a bit of a once over with the smoke as well, just to give it a bit of a colouring at the ends. So that's the weathering part done. So what we need to do now is sort out the oxygen sensors. So there's one for each pipe there, and there's 2 holes I've put in there. So again, fit 2 in there. So we'll come back and do those in a minute, and then we'll see how we are with time. Okay, see you in the next bit. Okay, so these are the oxygen sensors, and it's a bit of chrome to metal, and it's got little PE parts that go on. Just this nut shaped one and the star shaped one that goes on the top. And I'll try and show you. But the other 3 have been quite tricky because there seems to be a little lip just on there, so I suppose it helps them not fall off, but it makes them tricky to get on. Come on. So it just catches on the little rim, so we can get it off. So give that a bit of a sand. Use the same little file for the PE. Okay, try again. There we go. Lots of detail, doesn't it? Okay. So now we can soon get the star-shaped one on. Get an extra one of each just in case you ping one somewhere. down. Make sure they're all set down, and then tiny bit of CA glue. Capillary action, get it in the joints. So delete either side, should hold it. There we go. That's your 4 oxygen sensors done. Okay, so fixing the oxygen sensors to the exhaust. Oxygen sensor 1 hole. WCA. There we go. So wires and connectors and things will come off that at some stage in the future. So for the other one. There we go, 2 oxygen sensors. Okay, and there's those 2. Okay, so leave those to dry. Should take long because it's CA glue, but you don't want to go on banging them around. So that's what we've done. 2 little washers on top, fit into the engine. So is this. Oxygen sensors down here. So that's where we're up to. Okay, see you next bit. Okay, so we'll call that part 5 done. So I've done the exhausts, and as I temporarily fitted one to the bike just to show you how it looks. So as usual, if you like what you see, could you please subscribe and like the video, and click the notification bell as well, so as and when the next video comes up, you'll get notified that it's coming up. Okay, thanks very much for watching, and I'll be up with part 6 as soon as I can. Thanks very much.